You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's JPA here. In today's video I'm going to be looking at Rangers' very important win over St Mirren, where we won 2-0. If you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Hit the like button as well, and we'll just get straight into this video. So if you haven't seen the final score, it finished St Mirren 0, Rangers 2. Who would have seen that coming? Oh well, if you'd seen my previous video, I would have seen that coming. Now, all jokes aside, very important win for us. I don't think the magnitude has quite hit a lot of supporters yet how big this one was, because had we gone into, or we about to go into the Old Firm game having not won this game, it would be absolutely disastrous. Probably more for the fans' confidence than anything else. I think the players have pretty much got it up there, and they know what they're doing. Obviously it was a setback a couple of weeks ago when we lost to St Mirren, but I think in the league we've got it all together, and we do pick up the points when we really need to, and we do play well. I think it's just maybe a little bit of scar tissue left over from previous seasons where we've kind of messed up after big games. So I think as a supporter it really does hit us when we drop points. Fortunately for us that wasn't the case. We got another clean sheet here today. Very impressive, and I'll go over that in a little while. I'll kind of talk you through the game as much as I can just now from memory. It's always very difficult. I actually like to watch the highlights and kind of refresh my memory that way before I do a video, but I'm not going to get another opportunity to do the video until at least tomorrow night, and I didn't want to leave it that late. So I'll just get straight in it. I thought they started probably the brighter team. They looked really up for it. They were pressing us very high up the pitch, and it became a case of our centre backs were playing it into our midfield players with our back to goal, and we had a choice to either take it into feet and turn and pretty much face the 10 men of St Mirren, or go back to goalkeeper. And that's pretty much the first 20 minutes in a nutshell. We had a lot of possession between our back two centre backs, Davis and also McGregor as well. We've seen a lot of McGregor in that first half. Although he's got a beautiful face, I didn't want to be seeing him that much in a match, to be honest. I'd rather be seeing the other goalkeeper, who incidentally also used to play for Rangers, and Jack Anick. But yeah, I thought they started very brightly, and they were pushing right on us, and they were waiting for any kind of mistakes. I think they did create a chance in the first kind of 10 minutes where they got in behind. I think it was John Obika, but we dealt with it well defensively as a unit. We did manage to get the first goal in the 27th minute, and ironically I actually think it was against the run of play. I thought they were the better team up until that point, but maybe just a couple of minutes before that we started to get a little bit of a foothold on the game. Ball gets played in behind. Roof times his run to perfection, and I think even as he was running on it, I thought this is either going to be a goal or we're going to get a shot on target here, because I think it does take a slight deflection, but it goes beyond the goalkeeper for 1-0. Very tidy finish from Kemar Roof, who also said would score in my prediction video. So happy days. I think maybe 5-10 minutes after that goal, St Mirren were shell shocked, and just 6 minutes later that proved to be the case. They tried a wee back pass, and the defender didn't quite know how to position himself, and Morelos managed to get him in behind that defender, and the goalkeeper got himself in behind, and you're just thinking, Morelos, please just hit this. It looked for a second as if he'd maybe just delayed that a little bit too much, but he got himself in position, and obviously he's been misfiring of late, and he managed to get a goal. Puts it beyond Anick, who was coming out, and it's a very tidy finish for Morelos. Two things about that goal. One, it gave us confidence for the rest of the match to go and possibly win the game from there, and second of all, it gave Morelos massive much needed confidence to go on for the rest of the season, which I'm hoping this is a turning point for him. I thought he was excellent tonight. No quick man of the match, but I thought he was really good in holding the line and moving players for space for others to run out. I thought he was excellent. And for the rest of that half, it was just about keeping the ball, getting to half time, 2 goals up, not losing anything silly. We did make a couple of little errors, and St Mirren did get in behind a couple of times, but they didn't really create enough. But apart from that first chance, which I didn't actually give much details on, by the way, sorry about that. but they took a kind of flash shot from just outside the box, and McGregor saved it, but it kind of spilled just outside. John Obika picked it up and he turned and took the shot, and it just went wide. Quite fortunate for us, but I thought in the end it was well defended. I mean, if you watch this game without the nerves of, oh no, we might concede here, then it looks a very different game, and we've got a complete solid win, to be honest. But there's always going to be nerves when you're watching it for the first time and you're watching it live. You think, oh no, what's going to happen here? But yeah, we got to half time 2-0 up, and we thoroughly deserved the 2-0 win, the 2-0 lead at that point, I would say. So when we came out the second half, I generally thought that we would control the game a little bit better, but for me it was St Mirren that did all the running. They got in behind us a couple of times. There was one occasion where Connolly sprinted right past Hollander. It was a, you know, you hear a 50-50 ball. Well, this is 100-0 in Hollander's favour, and somehow Connolly managed to sprint right past him, get past. McGregor came out and he just kind of turns his back on the ball, expecting Connolly to maybe just stop or something, but McGregor lets it run. Connolly runs past him, gets it past, and fortunately for us, Hollander's there to clear it away. I'm not really sure what McGregor was thinking there. Pretty much heart in the mouth moment for me, and I'm sure a lot of people watching as well. Fluttery moment there, but we got away with it. And I felt that was a trend in the second half. Certainly the first part of the second half. I thought the second half of the second half, if you like, maybe about 68, 69 minutes in, we started to pick up a little bit and drive forward, not creating too much opportunities, but we were starting to get forward, and I felt at that time we probably needed a sub. Ryan Kent came on. He didn't do a lot, to be honest, but he did try and get forward as much as possible. Maybe he's just lacking a little bit of confidence, couldn't really get in behind as much. And then we brought Zungu on, and I thought that's a great opportunity for us just to see out the match. And straight away, as soon as Zungu came on, Obika had a chance where I think he actually knocked it past the advancing McGregor, but again, Goldson was there to clear. And again, looking at it, it probably wasn't as close as it seemed at the time. And you look at it as just a kind of half chance for them. And then right at the end, we had a chance from Morelos where he's got a chance to shoot right at the edge of the area. The defender blocks off the channel to shoot. So instead of just giving up or even trying to just hit it off the defender, Morelos is very clever. Sees a player running behind. I can't exactly remember who it was. I think it was either I think it was Tavernier that was making the run. I think it was Tavernier. He's making the run on the blind side, and there's no way that Morelos could have seen him, so he must have heard a shout, and he just kind of flicks it to the side. Now this chance is blocked off by the defence. It's very, very well defended, to be honest, but I just thought the awareness of Morelos, he's obviously hungry for goals. He gets that opportunity to shoot, doesn't quite get the chance to get the effort on target, and he sees the player running beyond, and he tries to play him in. Very, very good attacking play from Morelos, and I was really, really impressed by his performance tonight, although I did say I don't think he was man of the match. So obviously it finished 2-0, as I said. Massive win for us. There's no words that can describe just how important that victory was. Every single victory is important from now until the end of the season, but especially going into an Old Firm game, we need to be as confident as we can possibly be. As a fan base, I think we're probably overconfident. I don't want to kind of ruin anything for anybody, but I think a lot of people are seeing this as a kind of foregone conclusion that we're going to go to Ibrox and beat Celtic with no trouble. Yeah, Celtic have been poor this season, but look at the game since, I think it was Lille they played, in Europe. Since that day they beat them, they've not been beaten, and okay, they've not been at their best, but they're still grinding out results and they're getting wins, which is what we're doing as well. But they're slowly creeping up a little bit of momentum, and that worries me slightly. I do think they're frail at the back, and we do have opportunities to get in behind them, so I'll talk about that in the preview for the Celtic game. But yeah, it's not a foregone conclusion that we're going to win that game, so let's not think about that just now. Enjoy the win, and maybe tomorrow we can look ahead towards that game. But yeah, delighted with the win. So in terms of man of the match for this, I think the official man of the match was actually Hollander. For me, I was looking at a couple of the midfield players, and initially I was going to say Davis, because his work rate was unbelievable, particularly in the second half rather. But I think a player that went really unnoticed, and I think the reason he went unnoticed is because of how effortless he makes it. Was Glenn Kamara. For me, I was discussing this on Facebook Messenger with my mate, saying how good Kamara is, and he was saying how good Kamara is, and we came to the conclusion that he could pretty much play in any EPL team, and by EPL I mean English Premier League. I think he's absolutely superb. I look at Arsenal quite a lot because my son supports Arsenal, so that's my kind of reference point for the English Premier League. I think if you look at El Nene, Xhaka, even Torreira, I think he's better than these players. I really do, and I know that's, you're never going to get a fair example because it's such a big league. But even in Europe, and when he plays against Celtic, he's absolutely outstanding, Kamara. His touch is absolutely superb, his close control, and the only mistake I can ever remember him making was once against Hearts last season, where he gave the ball and then they scored. But that's it. He's been here 2.5 years now. That's the only mistake I can think of. And obviously if you make a mistake in defensive midfield, you're going to probably lose a goal. So yeah, I thought Kamara was absolutely outstanding, and he's my man of the match. So that's the video pretty much wrapped up, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As I always say, if you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button again, and I will see you in the next video, which will be a big one for the Old Firm game. Cheers, guys.